We give him so much shit.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Deserves it most of the time. Guys, we are back yet again because it's Friday with another transfer Q&A where myself and Paddy will be answering all of your questions about every single transfer rumour that is going on at the moment. So, to kick us off, I will start.
You're up.
Because we have Cohen Luke who has said Coutinho to United, Manchester United to win the title, hashtag plot twist.
I like the little hashtag
Yeah.
again. To be honest, I'm flabbergasted with this Coutinho situation. I mean, they spent so much money on him. Potentially he hasn't quite lived up to that expectation, but he hasn't been bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
And the fact that so soon after this big transfer, this prolonged, protracted transfer went through, that they're already thinking about sending him going. I can't actually believe that.
The only thing that's more ridiculous than that whole story is that the fact it's to Manchester United.
I know,
When
yeah.
You couldn't think it'd get more ridiculous. There is no way.
I do not see that happening.
can't.
I'm sorry, was it Cohen? Cohen?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I do not see that happening. Again, if we're wrong, feel free to come back on and give us a load of shit about it. But I really don't see that happening at all.
No way, absolutely. However, what I can see happening is you guys getting your comments in down below. Do not forget to subscribe and let us know all of your rumours in the comment section for a chance to be featured on our following week's transfer Q&A because we're here every Friday during the transfer window. So with that said, I will
Question
pass
number
over
two.
to you, Paddy.
Yep. I've got reply bait 15, decent. Who could be a good replacement for Lovren in Liverpool?
I was actually a big fan of Joe Gomez at the beginning of the season. Really, really good English youngster. As a replacement for Lovren, Koulibaly is always the name thrown around there, but I just think he's out of pretty much everyone's price range. I'm not entirely sure. I have to say, I think Connor Cody at Wolves, he's entering new contract talks because it's clear how well he's been doing at the moment. So I was saying he's from the Premier League, certainly.
I think they've had, I think Gomez, you mentioned, obviously had a couple of injury issues and like you said, a very strong start to the season. Matip, still to come back as well. We really haven't seen the best of him in the Liverpool shirt because of injury too. So is it a replacement for Lovren or actually just adding to the stocks?
What is the best of Matip though?
This
is my question.
He's a ball-carrying central defender, potentially next to Van Dijk when he's fit. I don't mind that, to be honest. We saw a lot of that at Schalke when he was there.
Yeah.
He can be a good leader in the heart of defence, and I think next to one of the better defenders in the world, I think that could actually work. Better than Lovren, at least.
I think maybe that's just it. Maybe it doesn't matter who they bring in. Next to Van Dijk, they're going to up their game.
Should be, at least.
10%, yeah.
Except if you're Dejan Lovren.
We give him so much shit.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Deserves it most of the time. Anyway, I will be moving on with Samir Simo. Thank you very much. Onefootball English. Morata to Bayern or Dortmund or Sevilla?
It's a tough one, isn't it? We were sort of talking about this. I was on the tram with a couple of people last night. We were talking about this situation with Morata. I actually believe Spain is probably where he should go. I think that if you look back over his career, Morata is a fine striker. I'm not sure he's as good as everyone has thought for a long time.
Yeah.
He was very good in substitute appearances at Juventus, at Real Madrid, but obviously coming on later in the game, and don't get me wrong, had some great performances in some very important Champions League games off the bench. But I really wonder if he's as good as his price tag and his reputation demands, and that's why I think Spain is probably the best destination.
Absolutely. I can't see him at a top club, but he's that sort of step below.
Yep.
Sevilla. I mean, to be fair, I think Atletico are a top club in Spain.
Agreed.
But yeah, Sevilla definitely seems the right fit in Germany. I can't.
No, I don't see that at all.
I can't see a thing in Germany.
Don't see that at all. Yeah. Moving on then. I'm going to struggle with this. Sparsh Vashith. 3. Hey guys, do you see Icardi arriving at Stamford Bridge?
With the current Higuain rumours hotting up, no. Especially not in January either. For some reason, I don't know. I know Chelsea have the spending power. I know that Abramovich is in charge because he has been for almost 15 years now. I just don't see them pulling off a £100 million signing.
I also, neither club, has ever come out and really sort of given this rumour any credence. It seems to be one of those typical media things that, you know, Chelsea need a striker, Icardi, one of the best in the world, 2 + 2 = 4, let's write some headlines.
I think it's more fan-driven
I would agree.
than actual any sort of substance behind it.
And he would be a fantastic player at Chelsea, but I agree with you. I think Higuain is probably the man that they're going to go for, at least in the short term.
I think as well, the one issue is that without being able to promise Champions League football, to go and spend that kind of money and then not be able to recoup it being in the Europa League.
Yeah, and in winter, Inter Milan really going to sell their best player?
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Yeah.
So moving on to Aman Pandi, who has said Isco to Man City.
Another quite strange story coming out of Spain, because Solari, of course, really is just leaving Isco to rot on the bench at the moment, despite the fact saying that he actually doesn't want him to go anywhere. Now, Isco, we've seen him play some incredible football, particularly before this season, in the last year. I think there's no point him staying at Real Madrid at the moment. It's clear that Solari doesn't want him. Why wouldn't he go? I think it'd be a nice little signing for City, potentially a longer-term replacement for David Silva, who is, of course, still a fantastic player, but getting on a bit, had his injuries as well. Isco would be a great signing for City.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be a good signing for City maybe in the summer. He said with David Silva, I'm not quite sure he'd play enough. Isco's one of these players, though, from watching him, he definitely needs to be the key in the team.
Yes, agreed with that.
He can't be a bit part player like he was at Real Madrid.
Correct.
He needs to be the focus, and I'd make him the focus of pretty much any team. Unbelievable.
I still think they need a number 6 more than they need anything, Man City. Yeah. But if Isco was available, you also wouldn't turn a player like that down.
Absolutely not.
Okay, next one. Gabriel Morris. Should Pochettino be loyal to Spurs or not? And if not, would you think the Spurs team would collapse?
Yes, that last part of the question, yes. the captain of the ship leaves, then you wouldn't blame. I certainly know the likes of Ali and Kane and Hugo Lloris especially, also club captain, have come out numerous times in the past and said it's all Pochettino. Yeah. Where they are in their own careers, where Tottenham are, it's all down to Pochettino. So unless Spurs can confidently say, stick with us, Pochettino's gone, we're bringing in someone else, then I can see them all leaving. As to whether he should leave, he's come out and said he's loyal. He turned down Madrid in the summer. However, in light of recent events with Harry Kane's injury,
surely that's not enough to make a coach leave
it's not enough to make him leave, but the point is it forces the hand of Spurs chairman Daniel Levy to sign someone.
Correct.
If he turns around at the end of the season and says, Pochettino, we didn't win a trophy, we're sitting outside the top 4, he's got every right to turn around and say, you didn't back me. Look, Liverpool were the perfect example. Liverpool had 2 fantastic transfer windows with Van Dijk, Alisson, Keita, Shaqiri, and that's taken them from top 4 to title challenger. Levy hasn't done it at Spurs, so I wouldn't blame him if he left.
Fair enough, yep.
Which actually makes me sound like a rather sane Spurs fan. I know you're probably wanting to be blindingly biased.
You are
just say he'd never leave.
a sane Spurs fan. I can attest to that. Last question from me again. From A Gamer Time. Will Neymar join Real? We've talked about this quite a lot. Yes or no? Will he join Real?
Can't see happening.
Ever? Or okay, let me rephrase that. Sorry, A Gamer Time. I'm going to slightly tweak your question. 2-parter. Will Neymar join Real one day in the next couple of seasons?
No, because I can't see Barcelona falling off, and he'd always be the main attraction ahead of Real.
Okay, so then no need for the second part of that question, by the way. Yeah, I see things a little bit differently, actually. I think Real would love to sign a player. We spoke about this actually last week, I believe. They probably want a player to replace the luster, the star power of Ronaldo. Neymar is the logical choice. It would be a big to Barcelona as well.
True.
It would be a perfect way for them to say, we're back, we are still the Galacticos. We can build a team around this player as well. I actually think I can see it happening.
Really?
I really can. And we've seen before, when Neymar wants something, he generally gets his way.
That is very true.
If he wants to go to Real Madrid, then honestly, I can see that happening.
Let's not make another handshake until the Eden Hazard one is over.
Yeah, but a good segue because Drew Summers, who was the man who quite generously offered to send us some hot sauce, did comment in the video last week. So we're going to have a chat to him. I've messaged you on Instagram, actually, Drew, for the restaurant's name was?
Kabajan Chicken.
Yeah, let us know if we're saying that right.
Kitchen, not chicken.
Kabajan Kitchen. In Canada?
Yes, in
somewhere
Ontario.
In Ontario, thank you. So very generous offer there, Drew. We'll get in touch and see how we can get a bottle of your fine hot sauce, so Matt can really enjoy that in the summer when this bet's all finished and I've won.
When Hazard stays. Well, I still think he's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm standing by my decision. You guys know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that is all from us, from myself and Paddy today. So thank you very much again for all of your questions. As mentioned before, if you do subscribe, leave your rumour down below and we will get to it on next week's transfer Q&A. Don't forget to hit the like button as well whilst you're there. And from us, that's all we got time for. So we'll see you later.